in the city of angels. Dwight with Mike to the torch from his cradle. Jets from Father, spiritual and bright, guiding the vibes, bring wisdom to the night. Telling a story where hearts connect, from LA to Florida with love and respect. Telling a story with soul to soul. Dwight and Jess, yeah, making a song.
Hello. Welcome to Telling the Story. Hey,
Yes.
Jess, how are you?
I am actually feeling really good. I love this month. October is my favorite month. So
October is a good month. Yeah.
it really is. I don't have any fall weather, as I like to say, what I heard from a comedian. So I'm just really taking this, that Florida has just these 4 seasons: hot, really hot as hell, and then like just less hot. Like, you know,
You
like,
missed one, and you have freezing freaking cold for that 1 week in January. And it's always the week of my birthday. It's like freaking cold. That 1 week, it's like you need a coat that week, and then it goes back to normal. So when I lived in Florida, I was so excited about living in Florida.
I would need to hear this.
I was like, yay, I'm finally going to have a birthday that's warm. I'm super excited. I'm going to go to the beach. I wake up on my birthday and it's cold. And then someone tells me that every year in January, it's like cold 1 week out of the year, and it falls on my birthday. And then it gets warm again when your birthday happens.
I know, we're going to have to do some like birthday celebration vibes on the podcast, but that's so interesting that you say that, because for me, yeah, I've avoided that. I mean, it hasn't been necessarily like beach weather around my birthday where I feel super comfy, but I always tell people, if you want to visit Florida, the month to come is February. That is when it's like perfect and divine. It's just great. But yeah, like right now in October.
Too. I like November as well. November is nice.
Yeah, November's good. I feel
February,
October
March, you get all the kids.
A lot of spring breakers in March. But I feel like October, you start to feel like it's going to be less hot here. Like the light has come, you know what I mean? That we're not going to be just scorching, our skin every time we just, step outside the house. But right now, isn't it in California? It's been really hot, right?
Well, it's back cool again. So California, I learned that you get all 4 seasons in a day. So yeah, starts off winter. Then
yes. When I lived there, you're right.
Summer.
Yes.
And then you have no. You have spring, then summer, and then nighttime is fall. So I love LA.
You're
right.
I
can wear fall fashions at night, which is really cool. So
I love LA's weather, and it is so my vibe. And I have to say that I miss it so much when I lived there. It's great. And maybe we'll say this for a different topic, but there is, have you ever heard of Ayurveda?
No, what's that?
So Ayurveda is one of the most oldest ancient healing systems, and it goes by the different elements. So it's, fire, water, earth, wind, and then it has space. And basically it's from your body type and also your personality traits, but really your body type. It puts you into these 3 different, what they're called doshas, which are characteristics and almost like your astrology sign, but within the elements. But it goes deeper to food suggestions, everything. And so I bet you're the same as me. So you have a pitta, a kapha, and a vata. So a pitta is a combination. Yeah, so pitta, I know it's like a not a pita, a pitta. A pitta is a combination of fire and earth. A kapha is earth and I think it's water, and then vata is air and space. So for somebody who's a pitta like me, I'm supposed to avoid spicy foods in my diet, and also living in environments that are cooler are better for me and my health. So I noticed that I felt way healthier. My skin, everything looked so much better when I lived in California versus Florida. It's really quite fascinating.
How do you find this out?
I can actually send you a link. So if you follow my meditation teacher, David G, he actually has a free dosha quiz so that you can learn this. And it's really fascinating. I mean, some people will actually go on these really wonderful health diets that have been perhaps diagnosed with different ailments, and they'll follow this system of healing because it is so much about also diet, but it tells you a lot about your personality. Like a pitta, they're like a go-getter. Like they are somebody that like we are taking notes and already what's the next thing that the person's going to talk about. Whereas like a kapha, they are like super organized. They move really slow. Vatas are like very spacey. They're in their head. Like it's so fascinating when you
Yeah,
break it
yeah.
down. Yeah,
I must
it's
be a
really
pitta.
cool. You are so a pitta. You're so a
Like
pitta. Yeah.
it's yeah. I have to be a pitta. I can't see me being any others there. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's so
We'll have to.
interesting. That's so
Yeah,
cool. I want to do it. Yeah.
it's really cool. I'll send you the quiz. Yeah, it's a great. But if anybody out there, it's just David, and then Ji, and look up dosha, DOSHA quiz, and then it will tell you it's free. Yeah.
Oh, okay, guys. If
Hmm.
you're out there, be sure to check it out. Well, on today's show, guys, we're going to actually be talking about tell them the story about the
Uh,
exes. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
the
That's
exes today. This
we are
should be
going
very
there.
fascinating. Yeah, we
Oh
are.
God. My
Yeah.
most toxic ex is in LA. I actually have a great story about this. This is gonna be fun.
Oh,
Hmm.
I can't wait to chat about it. But speaking of
Yeah.
love, something happened to me recently, and I wanted to ask you about it. So
Okay.
I owned this beautiful rose quartz necklace,
Okay.
and it recently shattered. Like it shattered.
Did you
So
buy it for yourself or did somebody get it for you? Just curious.
I bought it for myself
Okay.
a couple years back,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And so I remember I once had appropriate for the exes. I had a black onyx bracelet once, and
Mm.
I'll never forget. I was in a club, and an ex was there that I was still like in love with, like first love of my life,
Oh
and he
wow.
was with someone else, and it was so much rage in my body, it shattered. And I remember my best friend Jimmy was like, "Get him out of here," because Jimmy got me into crystals and stones. He was like, "And
Yeah.
don't touch the stones, like just get him out." And so like my friends rushed me out.
Don't
That's
touch
the
the stones. Get him
yeah,
out. Get
don't
him
touch
out.
the stones.
Yeah.
Just get him out. And that's the only other time something shattered. And I think it shattered because of the rage in my body. So I'm wondering now, like, did my rose quartz shatter because I've found self-love? Could that be it?
Oh.
Could it be that, that it's done what it's supposed to do? Because I had an evil eye once that
Hmm.
broke in my home. And when I went back to buy another, the lady told me it did what it was supposed to do. Like if it broke or shattered, it did what it's supposed to do. So
It's
my
so
question
in.
for you is
Yeah.
yeah, is that what
Ev-
happened?
Everybody has different beliefs around this. What I learned from my crystal certification was that when that does happen with a crystal bracelet, whatever it is, it's releasing the energy. It's just releasing it out and it has done what it's supposed to do. Quite often, too, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but you have like a crystal or a piece of jewelry, and you lose it, and then all of a sudden it reappears. And it's like
Hmm.
really like that's also like where it's like, oh, it comes back around when you're really meant to work with it. I actually have a rose quartz ring that I got in California, and I was getting it during actually the time that I first separated from my ex-husband, and I wanted to get it to remind me to love myself. And it actually is holding together, but I have to like glue it because it has fallen out a couple times. But I'm like, no, I still need you to just do your thing. I'm not ready to let go.
Oh wow. So I guess you're gonna answer my next question. I was like, should I
Mhm.
take the necklace and go have it restrain into a necklace, or should I just release it? But it was very. And what's so interesting is I was getting dressed, and
Mhm.
I remember looking into the mirror, and I said, "Oh my God, I look really good today," and it shattered. Like I literally had that moment of like, wow, I'm really happy with the body, the human that I'm in. And I remember
Wow.
feeling just so energized and so happy and light. And this just happened
Wow.
maybe like a couple weeks ago. And I was like, I definitely want to talk about this on the show because it happened around the time that we talked about crystals. And I said,
Mm.
I want to definitely chat with you about this because it was a beautiful like experience. And I don't know. I put it together in a little sacred bag. I put it to the
Mhm.
side. but I don't know. I just feel really, really loved right now. Like I think I feel really like complete. And not to say I haven't felt this way, because I do from time to time, but it's been
Mhm.
consistent, which has been really
Yeah.
interesting. So I'm like, maybe it did do what it's supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like that's a judgment call for you. Like mine was like, I need to fix this, and I really wanted to because I look at rose quartz as really self love, and I feel like I'm still on that journey.
Hmm.
However, what I have done in the past when I have crystals that break, and I do debate, do I fix it? Do I, what do I do with it? I typically put them in my plants, and I had one plant that was not doing so well, and I placed rose quartz, funny enough, in it, and it started to bloom and
You put
revive
it in the
itself.
soil or just sit it on the plant?
I literally, well, I'm going to be real with you. I just like usually like kind of just put it right there on the top, but you probably should, birth it. But I'm like, it's fine. It's getting it. I'm still like working my way with plants and
So,
keeping them
what do you
alive.
suggest someone with a black thumb do? Because I kill plants just by looking at them. So,
Well, first I'd say don't buy plants. Buy some fake plants.
which I have none in my home.
Although I had a friend of mine, their mom was I'm not was did feng shui, but I don't know exactly like a feng shui expert, whatever, and shared that you should never have fake plants in your home because it's like I don't know, something to do with like it's not real life, or there was a whole thing to it that I don't know too much about, but very much that just like scared me and stuck with me from a young age. But honestly, if you did really want to bring in some life to your house and plants, moss agate is a crystal that is specifically super helpful for helping your plants grow. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I do have an air
Mhm.
plant in my house, which looks like a spider web.
Mhm.
If you like
Mhm.
wet it, like
I've
it's nice.
killed those. Funny enough, that's I can't. They're hard.
Wait, well, how do you know if it's dead?
I don't even know because I feel like I thought that they already were, but I've definitely like it's looked way worse. It started off
Yeah,
looking
I should
somewhat
probably
green.
water it.
I
Are you
don't
still
know.
okay over there? Is it still there? Yeah, it's still there. It's fine. It's fine. He's fine. Tell him the story how I kept you alive. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So, I want to figure out. I think I'm gonna hold on to the crystals, and maybe like if I have a moment of like
Yeah.
not feeling,
Mhm.
because I
Yeah.
feel like self love is a process. It is, and I'm sure there's gonna be some days I get up and I'm not gonna feel, my best, and perhaps that'll be the day I'll take it and have it restrained. But right now, I think it's done what it needs to do, and I think it was a beautiful thing. And I thought it was very beautiful how and when it happened. Like
Mhm.
I wasn't putting the shirt on, like nothing was tugging at it. I was literally dressed, and I looked in the mirror and I was like, "Wow, you look really good today!" Like, and it just went. It was like,
It was like,
"Whoa!"
oh, yeah. It's like did its job. Okay, cool.
It was
My
like,
time
"Okay,
here.
I'm out,
Yeah.
clock out,"
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
didn't get upset, but I was like, "Darn it, I'm trying to get out the door." And now all of these crystals, because it was a necklace string, like beaded, like it looked like
Yeah.
as if it was a pearl necklace everywhere all over the floor. And I'm like trying to gather them up. And so then I was just in the moment, I thought, I'm like, wait, the last time this has happened to me was when I was full of rage. And
Oh my god.
it was
And it
like a
just
volcano explosion. And Jimmy immediately said, "Don't touch the stones. Get him out of here." That's
I
what it was.
love it. It was like, get him out. Like, just don't touch the stones. Don't touch the stones. I love that. It's so good. So good.
Yeah.
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 Interesting. But even my barber made the comment. He said, because he had noticed
Mm.
I'm not wearing it now, but I'm wearing my Capricorn bracelet for manifesting. And he was like, "Oh, that's
Mm.
really cool." And he was saying how, he had like a evil eye. And he was saying that the lady told him that, if it breaks or whatever, like don't touch it because you'll pick back up that negative energy. And I'm like, well, what do you do if it like falls like in your food or like in the bed? You're gonna just leave it there? Like, why wouldn't you touch it? So just everyone has different beliefs when it comes to things like that. So
Everybody does. Everybody has a different belief. And I just really feel like it's what applies to you. But I always just get really upset anytime a crystal breaks or things happen. So I just decided to surrender to that because it's just more helpful for my life. It's also what I was taught, but it does feel better.
No, it does definitely. Like, because that's like I was saying on, I saw this post where they have like those like memes or whatnot or little videos on Instagram where it's like,
Mhm.
you're gonna attract $1 million in 10 minutes, yeah, but you have to share this out to 10 people, in the
Oh
next
my
like
God.
the next
Yes.
day. It's
Yes.
like when you're manifesting or you're attracting something, like you shouldn't wrap it up with negativity or with fear. And that's what you're doing. You're basically motivating fear. So if you're anxious, thinking if I don't send this to 12 people, I'm not going to manifest $1 million or my next love of my life, then
So
you're
true.
putting the wrong energy out there. So I'm
So
so with you
true.
on that when it comes to crystals and things of that nature. Like, you know,
Mhm.
let's try to keep the negativity away from that, because what you're ultimately trying to do is attract and manifest something positive, and by doing that you're wrapping it up in fear, and we all know
Mhm.
what is fear.
False evidence appearing real. And also
Exactly.
right. And
Yeah.
also, though, you make such a great point because really quickly, crystals, before I know we go to break, they are from the earth. Like they are from Mother Earth to support us. They're not something that should feel so pressuresome of, like let them be something that's released back into the earth in its own way.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
we'll be back.
Greetings, inspired community. It's Jess with Just Be Inspired. If you're looking to bring balance and positivity into your life, I'm here to support you. Through my Reiki sessions and handpicked selected of healing crystals, I will help to guide and align your mind, body, chakras, and spirit. Whether you're new to energy work or have been on this journey of healing for a while, I have the tools to help you feel centered and empowered. Visit JessBeInspired.com or follow me at JessBeInspired, and let's heal together. I can't wait to help you stay inspired.
Alrighty, so we are back, and Jess is saging, and I know why she's saging, guys, because she's worried about this next thing we're gonna do, which is my favorite thing ever, and it is called Name That Story. All right, Jess?
I'm going to start saging myself. Forget everybody else out here. I'm just going to sage myself.
All
Nothing
right.
nothing against you, Dwight, or anybody else, but I need the extra love here on this one. Go ahead. Here we
It's
go.
fine. All right, so clue number 1. It's set in a small English village. It involves a tumultuous relationship.
I thought that was it. I was like, wait a second. Is that it?
No.
I'm like, yeah, good.
It ends in heartbreak, leading the protagonist to swear off love forever. A series of misunderstandings with the main characters find themselves back in each other's lives. The story is filled with wit and irony.
Okay.
It features the challenges of rekindling old flames, including memorable proposals and refusals. Name that story.
I literally have no idea. I am stumped. Seriously. I'm for real stumped. English town, confusion, exes are involved. I don't know. I really don't know.
I'll give you another hint. The title starts with P and P. The first word is P and P. It has to do with this episode. It's Pride and Prejudice.
I've never seen this movie.
Oh, you haven't?
Or is it a book? And I'm like, oh, I haven't seen it. I automatically went to.
It's a movie as well, but yeah, I'm sure it's a book.
I was trying to give myself like a little bit. I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's also because it is a book, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely a book. Yeah, absolutely. But it's also a movie. In the movie, wait, who was in it? Wait, let me give you a cast.
Keira Knightley, right? And I've never seen it.
Keira Knightley was in it. Yeah, Matthew McFadden. Yeah.
Is it good?
Rosamund Pike, who I love because she was in Good Girl, Gone Girl with Ben Affleck.
Girl. Yes.
Movie. I should have did Gone Girl. That was such a good. I think Gone Girl is the perfect movie actually to talk about for the
I
exes.
haven't seen. You know what? Remind me of it because I actually have not seen that movie in a hot second.
Gone Girl is when the wife like she makes herself come up missing. She tries to frame her. She tries to frame her husband with her murder.
Yes.
Yes, and it has the most perfect, the most perfect poem in it or whatever, called "The Cool Girl." I'm gonna read it to you guys. I think this is the dopest like poem ever. The Cool Girl, because I feel like we all just deep down want to be the cool girl, although like it's a crazy lady that said this, but
I was about to say, I'm
like her character is crazy.
Okay.
She says, men always say that as a defining compliment that she's the cool girl. Being a cool girl means I'm hot, brilliant, funny woman who adores football, poker, dirty jokes, and burping, who plays video games, drinks cheap beer, loves threesomes and anal sex, and jams hot dogs and hamburgers into her mouth like she's hosting the world's biggest culinary gangbang while somehow maintaining a size 2. Because a cool girl are above all hot and understanding. Cool girls never get angry. They only smile in the challenged, loving manner and let their men do whatever they want. Go ahead, shit on me. I don't mind. I'm the cool girl. Men actually think this girl exists. Maybe they're fooled because so many women are willing to pretend to be this girl. For a long time, cool girl offended me. I used to see men, friends, coworkers, strangers, giddy over these awful pretender women. And I'd want to sit these men down and calmly say, you're not dating a woman. You're dating a woman who's watched too many movies written by socially awkward men who'd like to believe that this kind of woman exists and might kiss them. I want to grab that poor guy by his lapels or messenger bag and say, the bitch doesn't really love chili dogs that much. No one loves chili dogs that much. And the cool girl's even more pathetic. They're not even
Nobody loves burping.
They want to be. They're pretending to be the woman a man wants them to be. Oh, and if you're not a cool girl, I beg you not to believe that your man doesn't want the cool girl. It may be a slightly different version. Maybe he's vegetarian. So cool girl loves satine and great with dogs. Or maybe he's a hipster artist. So cool girl is tattooed. Bedazzled nerd who loves comics. They're all variations of the window dressing. But believe me, he wants cool girl, who's basically the girl who likes every fucking thing he likes and doesn't ever complain. How do you know you're not a cool girl? Because he says things like, I like strong women. If he says that to you, he will at some point fuck someone else, because I like strong women is code for I hate strong women.
Wow.
It's the best monologue ever.
Where is that from again? Where is that
from? It's from Gone Girl, yes.
That is from Gone Girl.
Yeah, Rosemary Pike like delivers it just so effortlessly, and it makes me feel psycho to say like I actually liked her character. I was rooting for her. I was like, Gone Girl, get him.
Well, no, I mean, how often have you found yourself in that position of the pressure of feeling like you want to be the cool girl, right?
Yeah.
You know, in a relationship, I mean, the cool guy, whatever. But like, I can't tell you, as a woman who has always felt insecure about my weight, because I've always loved this one. Oh, you're not skinny enough, but you're not like really, you know, and listen, I'm meaning this like in my own, like you're not really fat, but you're not really skinny. So you're like in this in between. And then I always grew up, you know, especially here in Florida with a lot of girls that were super like fit and whatever, that I've always felt this pressure to be the cool girl and to be, you know, whatever, dismissive of my own feelings and just so pouring into them and attracting not the right people for me.
Charming
and
assholes.
Right, charming assholes and settling and right and
never date a charming asshole. Those
and
two
then
will never be together. However, people attract, you know, like what ends up happening is, oh my god, like yeah, an authentic cool girl would not date that, but we pretend to be something we're not at times to attract someone, and ultimately we're not being our authentic self. And ultimately, what happens is you don't work out, because when they
don't work out,
they didn't fall for the you, and you're not happy with the you've been presenting. But when she, oh my god, that is, I want to watch that movie now. It's such a good movie, and that monologue really made me sympathize with her and her character to understand why she was acting the way that she was acting.
Well, and I think that also too, like I mean, even for myself, I noticed that I still have a really big habit of doing that in relationships. And it's so funny. I actually talked to a famous YouTuber, and it was great. We had like a Reiki session, and they do a lot of debates and things like that. And anyways, but we were talking. We had such a great time of just like connecting, and because this is what he does, for a living, and we went into their relationship and how in the beginning, like this, person that he just was experiencing a breakup with, how they were everything was like, okay, this is like, he was very direct and upfront. This is my lifestyle. This is whatever. And then all of a sudden, pretty far into their relationship, they were married. So this is like a divorce we're talking about here.
Wow.
They just started to have all these different things. And he really realized that so much of this experience was about, the fact that they were perhaps saying that they were okay with certain things when they really weren't. And
They weren't. Yeah.
right. And how he often finds that a lot of people that they've dated, that this is, what the tendency can be. And I've been in both situations. I have been the forced, like cool girl because I don't feel good enough, or because I really want to be accepted. Because I think at the end of the day, we all want to be accepted. We all want to feel that connection, that spark. We put on, I think, our best selves especially in the first 3 months. So I have been in that space a lot, right? But then I've also been in the space where I am really trying to be authentic, especially on this journey at like 36, like when I, a couple years ago, of really realizing that I wasn't loving myself, that I have been in my authentic energy, and that still has been like, oh, I really like that. But then maybe the other person isn't, and then they realize that they don't. So I've been on both sides to it.
Yeah, no, and I'm so happy you pointed that out, because you can easily be on both sides. I married someone that I honestly was presenting my authentic self. And
you had the best wedding, though.
married, oh, thank you. I'm glad everyone enjoyed the wedding, but he couldn't take, like, ultimately he wanted me to leave my country to live where he was. He also,
only you would have this, by the way.
Also, in addition to that, he wasn't happy with the fact that I wanted to like do influencer things or work in entertainment. To his defense, when we met, I wasn't heavily in that anymore. But prior to this meeting, I was. And I was always honest that was something I want to explore again. He thought it was something I was going to outgrow and that I would give up on that. But then when I began to express this is something I had an interest in, it began to bother him. And so, like, he also, big one, I thought I married a top who claimed that he was a verse top, who ended up being a bottom. So, like, that's the other thing too. I'm also a bottom. So we were already set up for failure. Like he
I never knew that. I knew where you were. I didn't know that was something that, wow.
Something I wanted him to be. He could pretend to be the cool, let's call him the cool gay, He wants to be the cool gay. And I fell for someone who ultimately was not that person. And then later on, I discovered that that's not you. Like, I look at him now and I see the relationship he's in. He's totally with his type. He looks so happy. The guy looks happy. Like, I look at this guy and I'm like, you're with this man now. And not to say that I'm chopped liver, but this guy is freaking gorgeous that you're with now. And who obviously I've met him when I had to go, sign my papers. And I'm like, their chemistry and energy is exactly what you need. Like, the way you're showing up in your relationship with this person is the way I was showing up in our relationship. And that security that you need from that more masculine energy, you're getting from this person. And I'm happy you found that. And it's so important. Because I can only be the cool gay for three dates. Like, in the first 3 dates back in the day, I might pretend to be something I'm not. But after that, authentic Dwight falls out. And I try to stuff him back in. And I try to tell him, don't show this part of you to him until you got him hooked. Like, we got to trick him, but I can never trick him. It doesn't work. I've tried.
I honestly, though, have to commend you, because where do you think that it's switched for you, that you can't keep that going for longer?
I'm a bad actor.
Yeah, I have to add to this, because my ex-husband is dating my bridesmaid from our wedding. Right. You want to get juicy? Here we go. And I have a great relationship with my ex-husband, so I don't want to at all dismiss that. And I'm really happy for him. And her and I had a falling out in our friendship because she really just had an issue with my spirituality. So I will just say that like we weren't like in communication.
Was that prior to her
Yes,
dating your
yes.
ex?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And I say this because it was really funny though. He was in a
Girl, you
band.
better than me. I'm gonna keep it 100. But
honestly, I really have so much love for him, and I want him to be happy. That's how I feel.
Beautiful.
Like yeah, I really do, and I
really. Happy, but I'm dragging.
So, but so this is I want to right, but this is like where I want to add, and again, like in her defense, we weren't friends and talking. We were friendly with each other at shows and stuff because he was in a band, but we weren't in communication. So I just wanted to state that in her defense of like, whatever.
But is that not against girl code?
I mean, I just think it's still weird because there were so many different things that I did share that I had issues with in our marriage to her that it just does seem a little awkward. But again, I really want him to be happy, and we'll leave it at that. Because yeah, it's yeah, but but I will say this, like I honestly, I really do wish them the best. But I want to state that what hurt me the most. You ready for this one? Ooh, I'm going to get emotional. What hurt me the most is that all of the things that I really was asking for in our relationship, for him to change or shift or meet me at, he couldn't do it. But I see him with her, and he's doing all of it. And I had a conversation with a girlfriend of mine, and I said, why do you think that is? And she goes, the person, like if the person really wants it, they will change for what they see as the right person. And since my ex-husband and I have a good relationship, I just flat out asked him. I was like, I'm really happy for you, but the one thing that really does hurt me is that I see how all of these different things, I said, why couldn't you do that for me? Like that person of like me not being enough,
I'm sending you so much love right now. Thank you for
and I can't believe I'm going here, but I am. And I didn't actually respond like this in front of him, but he goes, it just came down to timing for him. Like he just wasn't in the right timing. I mean, there was other things that were obviously that he had, that I had. So I can't say that I can't like not hold accountability for my own stuff. And, and I was like, yeah, no, I totally agree with like, some of that. But really he was like, it was a timing thing for him. And it just really sucked. You know what I mean? And it's still, that is like, I think what's really hurtful. Cause it's like, wasn't enough. Totally I wasn't the person that was enough for you to like do that with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that totally makes sense. Well, guys, we're going to take a break. We're going to cry a little bit. And
it's good. It's good. Hopefully it will help somebody else to hear that story. Yeah.
Are you missing the wit and charm of Sex and the City? Well, get ready for a fresh twist with Just 1 Minute, the micro series on TikTok that's serving up all the drama, love, and laughs you crave. Join me, Dwight Allen O'Neill, as I navigate life, love, and everything in between, 1 minute at a time. It's just like Sex and the City, but quicker, edgier, and made for TikTok. Follow O'Neill Appeal and indulge in the new series everyone's talking about, Just 1 Minute, because who says you need an hour to tell a great story?
All right, so everyone, we are back. First off, before we continue, Jess, I just want to thank you so much for your vulnerability, because you sharing that is definitely going to help other people. It helps me. And the thing that I want to share is my mom and my grandfather have always said this, and I don't think they said it to me. I think I was just an eavesdropping kid, which God rest his soul, my grandpa Sterling. But he explained to my mom a couple things. He said, oftentimes we build people up for the next person. So a lot of the work and energy you put into someone, you're building for the next person. And, I think of an ex that I had that I dated, and they cheated on me with multiple people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like 23 that I know of. And
what? I love that you know that number. You're like 23 that I am aware of.
23 messages that I read with my own eyes. And
oh my God. Oh
yeah,
my
my
God.
book Collar Confessions is actually based off of that. I was dating a out minister. And yeah, he cheated on me. And he has fought tooth and nails to try to get back with me and telling me how he's changed and done all these things. And like, just he probably has changed. And I had to finally have that conversation with him that you probably have changed, but you haven't changed for me. You've changed for the next person because there's so much baggage and damage that we've done.
Wow.
You're mad at me for writing a book, for one. You'll never forgive me for writing a book. I know that. On top of me writing a book, I used the name of the book is something that we developed together, more so you than me. And then I trademarked it, so I own it. Like it was a lot. It was revenge on each other. I'm mad at you for cheating and doing this. And I'm like, there's a lot of hurt and baggage here that you'll never get past. And if you have changed, and I know you so well, I know for a fact that it might be 6 months from now, 5 years from now, and you're driving and you just remember the fact that I wrote this book, that I went vocal and told people what happened. And you're going to go back into being mad at me again. And you're going to try to hurt me in your own way, whether that's cheating, whether that's picking a fight. Like, I know that you hold grudges. And I know that if you are changing, you've changed for the next person. And I can't even sit here and say that I didn't still love the person when having this conversation with them, because I did. But I also knew that the damage was done. Like, I torched the bridge, I set it on fire. Like, you didn't help, you added gasoline. Like, there is no coming back for Dwight and that person. And I think oftentimes we build people up for the next person. And I think he learned a lot from being in a relationship with me. And I'm sure he's a terrific partner to someone else now. So oftentimes we don't get a chance to reap the benefits of us building someone. And I don't think it's about building someone. It shouldn't be. It should be about us growing together. Like, when someone say your better half, like, you should be my better half. We should be with someone that's bringing out the best version of ourselves.
I saw a beautiful quote there, like, the right person will not only love you, but help you to love yourself that much more too. And I thought that was so beautiful. And to my ex-husband's credit, and again, I really am happy for him. And I'm so happy in where I am in my partnership now. So it all worked out, right? Like, I'm so with a person that really adds value to my life. And I'm not saying that he didn't, but it all worked out, right? But I will say that the one thing is that he did say he thanked me. He thanked me for a lot of the stuff that he was able to overcome in this relationship that he's in now. And so I am grateful that I had that type of impact, because we went through a lot of stuff together. We were, together for 9 years, almost a decade. So the fact that I did add some value did make me feel like good in that. I have a question for you, just to like kind of shift gears. How do you feel about people being friends with an ex?
Oh my God, we are so in sync on that, because I was going to actually say I commend
Really?
you for being friends with your ex. That was going to be my transition. I'm not friends with exes. I'm just not. I don't have any ex that I'm a friend with.
Do you mind me asking why?
Well, a couple of reasons. I think one reason for me particularly is they were ex for a reason and a purpose. And I heard Wendy Williams say this: like, you can't be friends with someone that's in your ecstasy phase. Like, and I never want to be in a new relationship where my partner possibly has any insecurities or doubts about me in a friendship with someone else. Can I be friendly with an ex? Absolutely. But am I them a friend? I actually tried to be friends with my ex-husband. And what would happen is, we'd be friendly for a month, and then all of a sudden he wants us to pick things back up where they were, wants us to date.
Okay.
And he would say, "Oh, you led me on, da 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 da," because he doesn't know how to switch up our interaction. I do have one friend that, I would say we're friends, but we're not, and he's probably gonna listen and be like, wait, we're not super close. We're close enough, but I don't consider you like super, super close like that. There's definitely boundaries that are set, because if we get too close, we fall back into old habits old pet names, old energy, as if something was there when there is
Wow.
nothing there and we can't explore
Right.
that. So for me, I have not met an ex yet that I honestly feel like I can be 1000% friends with. Yeah.
It's
Someone
so
I
funny.
dated, yes, but
Mhm.
relationship, no.
I mean, me and my ex-husband, again, we have a great relationship. I don't call him every day, but like, God
That's
forbid, like
beautiful.
God forbid I need, that's why I'm so happy for him. I really am. But like, God forbid, and I was not wonderful in that relationship. I take a lot of accountability of like, I was not the person for him. And I definitely can recognize my own thing. So it's like, it was, whatever. But I will say that I do have an ex-boyfriend that was my, like, I don't want to say my first boyfriend, but my longest first boyfriend, that we have been friends since I was 19 years old. I mean, we dated from 15 to 19, and now we are like family to each other. And it's really interesting because we really are friends. Like, it's like crazy how I've transitioned with this person. And I do have a couple of boyfriends. He's definitely one, and I don't talk to him all day, every day, but like we are very, very close. So we do at least touch base like once or twice a month, but we're friends. And I do have a couple of other ex-boyfriends that I do just, hey, whatever. And my relationship now, I think is also friendly with some of his exes. And I don't think it's a bad thing, but I can see where like it still doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? Like it
Yes. Yeah, for
it
me,
doesn't
it's just
feel great.
I can't. I will say one thing I am working on is being their friend in the relationship. And that was something that I discovered later in my dating life. Like I asked myself, why do my relationship? Because I've dated a lot of people. I haven't slept with all of them, but I've dated a lot of people, and not because I've wanted to, but because I noticed that I basically would see a red flag, run from it. I had like a zero tolerance policy for certain things. Like, and one day I had the realization that I'm holding people that I'm dating more accountable than friends that I have in my life. Like I have people I consider friends that I let get away with so much, but like the minute someone forgets to call me before going to bed, I'm like, I'm not dating this person. They obviously are cheating. When they honestly may have fallen asleep. Like I was that nitpicky when it came to like dating. So I said, you know what? My issue is I'm not developing a friendship with these people because when I develop a friendship with someone, I allow them to be human. However, in my mind at this point, and I was much younger, guys, I was much younger when I had this realization. I finally realized that when I dated someone, I held them to these like heroic, like angelic, perfect standards. And the minute that they did not fall into this potential or this story I've created in my mind, I was ready to walk away. Yet my friends didn't have to live up to any potential. I just accepted them and loved them the way they were. And I said, I could possibly try to build a friendship with this person so that I'm not saying I can tolerate their flaws, but I can be more accepting of them being a human versus a superhuman. So now I work toward being in a relationship where I want to see the best version of you and I want to see the worst version of you. Because if I can love the best of you and worst of you, then that's a beautiful thing. But if I see that worst side of you and I can't deal with or tolerate or love that, then you're not my person. And my aunt actually says this, which is so
Wow,
toxic.
that's actually like, I just have to take that in because that just hit me really hard. Wow.
Oh,
Because
really?
like we don't, yeah, because I feel like we put so much pressure on a partnership versus
Oh,
a
we do.
friendship,
Oh,
right? Of
absolutely.
like we're like, I've never thought about that. Like, why haven't I been as accepting as I am in friendships? Like, I feel like for you, you could come at me in a really hard way and like it might disrupt our friendship, but I'm going to have a way easier time moving
Yeah.
through
And we'll
that than
talk
I
through it
would.
and we'll work through it. We'll be open to it. Whereas
Yes.
in a
But
relationship,
like,
it's like, I'm done. So now
yes.
I ask
Oh
myself,
my
what are
God.
my non
Yes.
negotiables? Like, what are the non negotiables I have?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not putting your hands on
Mm-hmm.
me. You're not putting me in harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can deal with if you fell asleep a couple times and didn't call. It can't happen consistently because now you're intentionally, harming me or intentionally trying to upset me. But like,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you forgot my birthday. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it shouldn't happen every year. Maybe you honestly just had a busy day at work and you forgot. So like I stopped trying to make my partner a superhuman and I actually looked at them as a human and I understood that, you know what? It's not the perfect partner, but it's the perfect fucking partner for me. That's what you are. So that's what I'm in search of, the perfect partner for me.
That is a mic drop. I mean, you've had a couple mic drop moments throughout this episode. So, but that is actually like, because you know what I love about that is that so many of us can also get wrapped up into other people's opinions. I know that, like, for example, my mom's opinion means a lot to me. Your opinion means a lot to me. People who I really value that also add so much value to my life. And a lot of the times I've gotten caught up where they're like, this isn't your person. I've never saw that. And it's like, that's very freeing to be like, it doesn't have to be the perfect person. It can be the perfect person for me. And you don't have to understand that.
You don't have to understand that, because people in their life are looking at me probably the same way, but I'm the perfect person for them. And I think that's just a beautiful freeing thing. I can't take credit for it. God rest her soul, Tawana actually used to tell me that, which I thought was so beautiful. Because she knew I was searching for the perfect partner, the perfect love story, the perfect movie example, the perfect never been kissed, the perfect, Love Actually. And she's like, Dwight, it's not about that. It's about you finding the perfect partner for you, which is why she didn't support my marriage from day one, because she said it just seemed like I was creating a fairy tale. And the thing about a fairy tale in real life is,
well, that's why your wedding was so great.
Right, because it was picture perfect, But the other thing I'm going to share,
it was.
My aunt says this, and it's so freaking toxic, but it works, okay? She said, pick a fight with the person within the first 3 months.
Oh my gosh, she is so onto this, and I love this so much.
And the reason
we need to have Christina back on.
She's like, right. She's like, because in the first 3 months, you will see how angry they get. You'll get a glimpse of it. You'll get a glimpse. She's like, don't do anything too crazy, but like enough to piss them off, so you can at least get a glimpse of how they handle anger. Because unfortunately, oftentimes you don't see the complete person and until the end or until something goes wrong, because then you see that anger come out. But you'll see glimpses early on if you pick that fight. And it's so funny. I went on a date with a guy, and I actually brought that up. And I was like, I told him what my aunt said. He goes, oh, so if you pick a fight with me, like the first 3 months, I know not to respond, right? Because it's, it's a test. I said, well, with you, maybe I'll wait 6 months. You never know.
I actually know. I think that's perfect advice, because again, going back to what I said earlier, the first 3 months you were on, I feel like, at least I still haven't broken that cool girl vibe, but the first 3 months you are like on point. Then it's like 6 months. Okay. Like, where is this going? And then it goes further, but the first 3 months, I feel like, you might have your moments, but you are in it. You're in it. You're in it.
Something else I saw on social, and I'm glad I want to bring this up. This girl posted, and it says, the next time you feel weird about the situation with the guy and you think he's dating other people, from a random number, text him this.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so I have a weird feeling. I'm not the only one you're talking to. So I'm texting you off a text now. What's my name? And see what he says. And then wait, in the comments, a girl said, no, honey, that'll have him block you or either gaslight you and say he didn't get the message. What you need to say is, hey, honey, I have a new phone. Lock me in.
That's so much better, because it requires action.
So much better.
Really quickly, if we have, it's so funny, but my mom is like, this guy, I won't get into it because it's her business, but it was not a great situation of somebody that she dated, and she's been dying to perhaps text this guy from a random number.
Like, have her get a Google number. Get a Google number. It's free.
Okay.
And text him from
Got
that.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would totally text him. I would actually text the first one for that one if it didn't work out. I would want him just to be like insane in his mind, trying to figure out.
Yes.
The other one is more like, you want them to know. Like the other one's really great if you're still dealing with the person, because then it's like, I'm not setting you up. I got a new number,
Right.
But that first one is like, that one, if I'm not dealing with you, I want to mess up your night.
Yes. So what would you do to do that? Just curious. I'm
To
so
mess
curious.
someone's
What
night
would you
up?
say?
Oh, from a Google
Yeah.
number, I would send a nude picture of someone else to their phone if they're with somebody.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, yeah. I would go and find a nudie online, and I would send it and be like, "Hey, great time last night."
That's hilarious.
Or maybe
That's
not last
hilarious.
night, because it could have been with the person last night, or it was fun, because that could have been whenever.
Oh my God. I love
So
that so
toxic.
much. It's so great. It's
Okay,
so
if
great.
you're a potential person out there for me, I'm just joking. I would never do those things.
I feel like this episode revealed too much about both of us. It's like it revealed way too much. All
We
my
thought it was about our
insecurities.
exes, but we're the ex we're warning you about.
Yeah, oh my, it revealed my insecurities, like really where I'm at. But again, I'm so grateful. Like, shout out to my partner and I love you. But like, no, like it really revealed so much of like our own toxicity. So that's great. So awesome.
I'm
Wonderful.
healed now. I'm healed. But shouts out to the partner that I'm manifesting, wherever you
Yes. Yes. I
are.
love that for you.
We'll see you guys soon. Thank you for tuning
Love
in
you
to
all.
another Tell 'em the
Love you
Story.
all.
Love you. Bye.